1950s and color television is coming out. There's no more black and white television, there's now colored television. Some refer to this as the golden age of television. Now, we're looking into how this changed how we live today and how it changed culture. You're listening to WJHS 91.5 The Eagle. Welcome to Media in the Making, a podcast where we look into the evolution of media from 1600 all the way to present day 2022. In this podcast series, we ask how different forms of media evolved and changed culture. Media in the Making, where media and culture are always changing. Now let's take a step back in time to the 40s and 50s. We're looking at the golden age of television. We'll be figuring out how the golden age was early on and its effects on culture. It all starts with the genres of shows that were available during that time.
The Wild West, the action shows, and the cartoons. These are only a few of the many iconic television shows we still know today that appeared during this time. We all know Tom and Jerry from the cartoons we used to watch as kids and the Andy Griffith Show that we all love to watch. These effects were seen by many of the kids during the 1960s. People were watching television for leisure instead of reading books or comics. This completely changed the culture as we know it today, and it is all because of the golden age and the new television that 90% of people had in 1960. That's a 70% difference from just a decade earlier in 1950. With only 20% of people having a television. This is the effect that television had on people during the golden age. People wanted television. This quickly became the main source of entertainment for many people. It was a source of news and an entertainment center all in one. It was much different from the newspaper that people would have to buy to get news. The newspaper was still more popular then than it is now, but it was quickly fading away, and more people were turning on the television instead of reading the newspaper.
With the rise in popularity came the rise in business. It started at just a few channels such as ABC, NBC, and CBS, but it quickly expanded from that, current up to 30 channels in a span of just 20 years. With these channels coming out, more and more iconic shows like Bugs Bunny and Woody the Woodpecker came out. These shows were why people liked the television. It was much easier to get something new or find something else to entertain yourself. With the new form of entertainment came more opportunities for business and companies.
Introducing the world's newest, silliest, and hamburger-eatingest clown, Ronald McDonald. Now, where is that clown? Oh, Ronald. Hey, Ronald. Here I am, kid. Hey, isn't watching TV fun? Especially when you got delicious McDonald's hamburgers. Ronald, you can't be on TV and watch it at the same time. Now, come on and meet the boys and girls. Oh, we've already met. I know we're going to be friends, too, because I like to do everything boys and girls like to do. Especially when it comes to eating those delicious McDonald's hamburgers. A magic tray here keeps me well supplied. McDonald's hamburgers, french fries, and milkshakes. Watch for me on TV. We'll have lots of fun. He's Ronald McDonald, the hamburger happy clown. A McDonald's drive-in restaurant is his favorite place in town.
It was their first opportunity to be able to advertise in motion instead of just on the radio. They can now show examples of how products worked instead of explaining them to you. This created a new industry as well. We know this industry as the entertainment industry. This created many jobs. You need more people to act and host on television. It also created jobs for manufacturing televisions because they were becoming more and more popular. This changed the culture and changed the people by giving them something new that involved in what we know today. As the television became more and more popular, people and companies wanted in. This put more money into the industry and helped it grow at the rate that it did.
This introduced a new way to watch sports. You no longer had to go and see it or listen to it on the radio. You could sit on your couch and watch it. Baseball was a major sport at the time, gathering more viewers than the other sports. The vast variety the television offered was how the television industry dominated all the other industries. People were able to have everything in one place. They could turn the television on and be entertained without having to do anything to be entertained. They could have the news in an instant without having to read anything at all. They could see what the weather was the next day. And they could turn on exactly what they wanted to watch. without leaving their home. All these things are why the television was so popular so early into its lifetime, and why it's still iconic to people today. In the late 50s started the making of the color television. This didn't become big until the mid-60s, but it had a big impact on our society. Media in the Making is brought to you by WJHS 91.5 and the Eagle Tech Academy Mass Media Classes. Media in the Making, teaching you about the evolution of media throughout history and its effects on culture. For more from the students, this podcast series is on the 91.5 website, WJHS915.org. Thank you for joining us.